El Campesino's journey began in a small village outside Oslo, where he was staying in a modest camping park. The air was crisp, the skies changing with every hour, and with that change came a weight on his body. A slight fever, a sore throat, the first signs of illness. But Bergen was calling. His final destination was getting closer, and no discomfort would hold him back. That day, the road demanded everything. 8 long hours of riding lay ahead. Yet with every turn of the wheels, the landscape unfolded in beauty. Rolling hills giving way to soaring cliffs, valleys cut deep by rivers, the wilderness stretching endlessly. The wind struck him, the rain poured down, drenching his spirit as much as his body. And just when it seemed too much, the earth itself offered moments of mercy. A tunnel. In some, the relief lasted only a breath, barely enough to dry his face. In others, the darkness stretched for 10 kilometers, a temporary shield from the storm, a pause before the battle resumed. Through it all, he pressed forward, illness in his chest, rain on his back, mountains rising before him. Every moment was a test, but every mile brought him closer, to Bergen, to Trolltunga, to the edge of the world.
I have arrived, and after a long journey it's time to eat. I'm here at the Viking Hall, an antique Viking hall, and I will be eating like one too. I have some spare ribs, Norwegian soup, starving, so I'm gonna get eating.
While inside it is cozy and warm, outside the weather is not forgiving. Since the arrival in Norway, it has not stopped raining.
So what I didn't realize that yesterday when I wanted to go to Trolltunga, it was already closed because I was too late. Therefore, it's the next day. I'm having some breakfast, so I will have enough energy to do the climb. As I also didn't realize, to get up there, you still need to go about 10 kilometers. So let's see how it goes. And before then, let's load up on a good breakfast.
10 kilometers, that's a 2-hour hike. Or so he thought. Trolltunga, meaning Troll's Tunge, would prove to be the hardest challenge yet. Long before hikers ever climbed the mountains of Ada, when the valleys were filled with mist and fjords whispered with secrets, the land belonged to trolls. These creatures were not the clumsy beasts sung of in children's tales, but proud guardians of stone and shadow, bound to the mountains by ancient magic. Among them was Judel, a mighty troll known for his arrogance. He believed himself stronger than the rivers that carved the fjords, and wiser than the storms that shook the peaks. His voice was said to echo across the valleys like thunder, and his hunger for dominion grew as endless as the glaciers. One night, under a blood-red sky, Judel declared to the others,
I shall speak to the sun itself and prove that trolls are greater than the gods of light. I will stretch my tongue to touch the heavens, so the world knows my name.
He climbed the highest cliffs, higher than any creature dared, and leaned far over the abyss. He stuck out his massive stone tongue toward the rising sun, mocking it, daring it to burn him. But the trolls had long been cursed. If touched by sunlight, they would turn to stone. The dawn broke faster than Judel had expected. The first ray of morning light struck him as he leaned outward, his tongue stretched in challenge. In an instant, his laughter froze, his roar silenced. His body crumbled into the mountain, and only his tongue remained petrified, jutting forever over the fjord as a warning. Thus the cliff became known as Trolltunga, the troll's tongue. Locals say that when storms gather and fog curls low, You can still hear Judel's voice rumbling beneath the rock, mocking the sun, promising he will one day break free.
So I'm here at almost the top of Trolltunga. It has been a very steep climb, rain in between, and a lot of sweating, but I hope we're almost here. So this is the last bit. I think it's about an hour from here, so can't wait.
Hikers who dare to step on the edge are said to be standing on his pride, staring into the abyss that swallowed him. But others whisper a gentler truth, that Trolltunga is not a curse, but a reminder, a mark of balance between arrogance and awe, teaching humans and trolls alike.
And because you are climbing this mountain, it's like a combination of being sweaty and cold and then being hot. It's tough, but we're almost here.
And so Trolltunga endures half legend, half stone, where earth meets sky, forever caught between defiance and silence.
At the top, and at this point you think by yourself and you ask yourself these questions: who invented hiking? Why is there not just a road that leads here so I can park the bike, take a picture and get out of here? It has been almost 4 hours, but I'm glad that I'm already at.
What's supposed to be a 2-hour hike became 4 hours. Even in the summer month of August, it is freezing cold and his clothes are soaking wet. Not even protective gear is a match for this climate. The climb is about 800 meters, and Trolltunga sits at 1,100 meters above sea level.
Last meters now, and as you can see, the whole journey people could not camp, but now camping is allowed. So we must be very close.
And very close he was, but was it all worth it? Those were the thoughts going through his mind.
So after a 4-hour hike, we are here at Trolltunga, which is the troll's tongue, as you can see behind me. And people are in line to take pictures, and this is the line, so check it out. Let's see how long we need to wait in line. And actually, to be honest, I have fear of heights, and this looks very scary, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on that rock. But at least I made it, and the views are stunning, so that's great. Here we are at the troll stop. There are crocodiles. You do it for a video, right? It's really interesting. They're lighting a picture. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And so the next adventure begins. Worth it or not, the hike is complete.
And we are here now on a ferry. It's a very interesting place. It's called Yundal, and it's going to take us to the other side of the waters, where we will continue the journey to Bergen, which will be my new destination. This ferry only takes 20 minutes, so it's a very short ferry. I don't know if it's a lake or an ocean, but it's just a small ride, so that's good. The good thing about this ferry, it's goes pretty fast, and you can even eat and drink on board. So just had a coffee, a nice sandwich. Now it's time to continue the ride.
Because Norway has so many lakes and waters, ferries are a normal way of transportation, almost like buses in other countries. He thought he was heading to a resort near Bergen, expecting just a short trip. But the winding roads of Norway had other plans. What would have been a 2-hour drive on a highway stretched into 8 long hours of slow, twisting travel. By the time he arrived, he was drained low on energy, low on spirit. He thought this would be his final destination, a place to rest, but destiny had something else in store. Searching for strength, he looked for a church. Look around at these ancient church walls, and you might sense two worlds, the Christian present and the Viking past, carved together in wood and stone. But beyond their symbols lies a story of changing belief, a story that's quietly unfolding across the country. Faith is no longer something that one can clearly define. Yes, there are churches, priests, and beautiful carvings, but inside, the belief has shifted. People no longer place their trust in the church. They believe in themselves. For many, faith is about living well, doing good, and being true to others. Some say they believe in the universe, others in a spirit or a force they can't quite explain. But when you ask them to put it into words, there is no single answer. It's vague, unshaped like mist hanging over a fjord.
As you can see in the structure, it looks still like an old church of the Vikings. God made us, made everything, made the planets. Jesus is the perfect man, according to the Christians. And if you look at his deeds and wonders, you think, it's a very good example. He was kind, he was brave, and he gave his own life for our sins. Although he was a very interesting figure, and it's a very good story, there's something about this story that is incomplete.